Propel Fitness Water. With Gatorade electrolytes, zero sugar, and vitamins, Propel hydrates better than water to help you get the most out of your workout and get back to your best self. What propels you? Propel with Gatorade electrolytes.
They say everything happens for a reason, but I suspect everything happens for a Reese's. Like this commercial break. Did you need 15 seconds away from music or 15 seconds to eat a Reese's? Perhaps it's true. Everything happens for a Reese's.
Listen to the heartbeat.
Chevy is called the heartbeat of America for a reason. With SUVs made to move with your rhythm. The versatile Equinox tackles your entire day. The spacious Traverse fits your crew and your whole weekend. And Trax brings style with value you can count on. All infused with tech that has your back, so your drive always hits the right chord. Chevrolet. Together, let's drive.
From the Fifth Quarter Studios in Madison, Wisconsin, you're listening to Coach Unplugged. And now, your host, Steve Collins.
Hey everybody, welcome to Coach Unplugged. We're so excited you decided to join us. Make sure you go over and leave those 5-star reviews. If you like this, go over and listen to our other podcasts like the 5-Minute Basketball Coaching Podcast or High School Hoops or Funnel Down Defense or Coaching Youth Hoops or whatever one of the 7 in our network that you would like to listen to. But before we jump in, I'd like to give a big shout out to our 2 sponsors. First of all, Dr. Dish, the #1 shooting machine on the market. They are always, what I love about Dr. Dish is they're always innovating. They're always making that a little bit better. And that's why I think they're the best machine out there. Like I've said before, we own 3 of them, and I would not be talking about them every day if I did not believe in them. Mention Coach Unplugged, they'll give you $450 off, and they'll give you A1 customer service. And then also what helps keep the lights on, what helps keep everything moving is teachhoops.com. It's for coaches who want to get better. It is a one-stop shop by a basketball coach for a basketball coach. I'm always working with my team 365 days a year, working on making us better. And I want to do the same thing for you. I'm giving you resources, one-on-one calls, office hours, a roadmap per se that will help you become a better coach. And we offer a 14-day free trial because I believe you should come in and kick the tires around and see if it's right for you. If it's not, that's fine. But I guarantee that you're going to love it. All right, let's head off to the podcast.
We're going to score. We're going to make you pay for trapping us.
Okay.
Yeah, and I would try to get the trap high. If you think they're going to do it right away, I try to get him the ball, set something where he can get the ball right away, and then go ahead. We want you go ahead and trap us, because then we're gonna make you. I tell them go past north south rather than east west, so they don't get a layup. But let's go. Yeah.
So do you send like the three guys come all the way to the ball in the 3 passing lanes and put someone under the goal, spread them out?
Yes,
or is there
I usually because then he can always throw it up to the goal if he needs to.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
So 3 passing lanes. One of them, as long as they're cutting to those passing lanes and not standing.
Cutting. Okay.
Yep, cutting, and then do that where they can't dribble. So that will teach them to move. So when we do that, and we don't let any, even though there might be dribbling in the quick hitter initially, or once you get it going, to get out of that double, I don't let them dribble at all in practice, because I want them to get, if they stand and they don't dribble, they won't get open. So that's
right.
I want to teach that they have to move. I want that movement. That the only way I can do it is no dribbles in practice.
Okay. No, that's super helpful for that. Okay, cool. So just to follow up on if I could, on the 1-2-2 half court trap.
Yep.
If they come with a 1-3-1 half court trap, is there a big difference, or is it?
No, there isn't.
Similar?
They're even actually more spread out.
Okay, so same idea.
Yeah, it's the exact same idea. 1-3-1 and 1-2-2 will work the same way. He'll be in that mid post, and he'll be. Yeah, it will be the guard flashing behind. Actually, the guard will be even more open in a 1-3-1, because usually that's the 5-man in a 1-3-1 tends to be the middle of the 3 tends to be the big guy. So it tends to be the biggest guy in the court versus one of the smaller guys or the guard. that flash behind is hard for them to get, really hard for them to get, virtually impossible.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'll keep that.
Just because if
Sweet.
they're running a 1-3-1, that middle guy has been pounded. Don't let the ball in the middle. Don't let the ball in the middle. And usually it's it's not a guard flashing behind the trap. So that will, you'll be wide open. You won't have to worry about that.
Okay. And I heard one of your podcasts also, you're talking about how you attack a 3-2 zone or I guess a 1-2-2 zone where they're not really trapping. Is there something specific you try to run for that?
Well, first of all, hopefully you got shooters. That helps.
Right. We do have a pretty good shooting team.
Yeah. No, there's two things. There's a couple things I like to do against zones. I like to run my man offense. Because zones don't like that when there's a lot of cutting and moving and screening against the zone. So I tend to run my man offense. I will make the zone move from side to side a lot. I will overload a side. It almost becomes where it looks like a chair set. Let's see if I can. Where's my set? So let's say they're in a 3-2. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. I will get to the point. I'll maybe start it in a 1-4 set, but I'll get it in almost to the point where they overload like this. And then I'll have the top guard kind of move back and forth a little bit, but I call it chair because when he's here, it basically looks like a chair. Zones don't like overloads at all. And then what I'll do is I'll sometimes have this guy dribble over if he gets the ball back, have this guy screen, he'll curl over, this guy screen, this guy, he'll come through, and then these two will kind of crisscross in here. So zones don't like cutting and they don't like screening. They don't like overloads. So against any zone, first of all, if you can shoot, you can get them out of it in a millisecond because most high school zones can't take care of shooters. But if not, in my first inkling is always to go to my man offense. First of all, to make sure they're not man, they're in zone, but also to get movement because I want movement. When kids hear zone, they tend to stand. So I try to get them to stand so that we'll get openings. Anything you draw up or anything you design, look for short corners. Short corners are always really good as far as the zone goes. Okay. So sometimes I'll have this guy cut, I'll have these, I won't have necessarily an overload like this. I'll have maybe him cut short corner rather than go all the way to the block. Because then that leaves some space in here for guys to cut through. But yeah, I mean, I think that's good. I don't know if I have. I don't know. I'll see if I have. I have a continuity offense too. I run against like a 2-3. I'll see if I can find that. It's probably on T-Troop somewhere, but I'll find it for you and send it to you.
That's interesting about running your man.
What?
But no, I was just saying that's really interesting about running the man against the zone, or at least to start.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't used to do that, and then I don't know if we played somebody that had a really good matchup zone or something, but it's like most zone. I mean, you'll get better spacing. Obviously, if they're playing pack and all their feet are in the lane, and you're not going to get anything on the cuts and the screens, but you're going to get open 12 to 3-pointers at that point, 12 footers to 3-pointers. So at some point, you're going to have to hit some outside shots, especially if they're playing kind of a pack zone. But yeah, if they're zoning me, I shoot. As a player and a coach, I love it. Zone me. I want you to zone me. And if you have shooters, you're probably not going to see a lot of zone. You might see trapping zone. Yeah, because I might try to turn you over to get easy buckets. But I wouldn't think you'd see a lot of 2-3 or 3-2 pack zone.
Right. No. We usually start out with 2-3, and then people switch to man, which we really got to work on since we're going to work on this year. But
yeah, and the thing is, here's something. I'm going to tell you something that my coaches and I have been doing in the off season too. And you coached this team last year, right?
Yes, for the last few years.
Okay, and do you have film from the last couple of years?
Yes, we huddle all the last couple of years.
So go back and look at all your offensive possessions. Huddle will do that for you. Do you have? Did you do the stats thing, or did you just?
I haven't tried, just money wise. I haven't tried to do that.
Okay. So what I would do is pick 3 or 4 games when you're just sitting there and vegging, and just fast forward and look at all your offensive possessions. And you'll be surprised how often you don't score in the stuff you work on in practice. Does that make sense? Like, if you've seen my team the last 2 years, we scored like 37% of our offense in the fast break, and we were slow as molasses in January. You would have never thought we were scoring in transition. But where I spent all my time in practice on the wrong stuff. I spent my time on working on half-court offense, and we were good at it, but we only scored on it. We only ran it and scored on it the portion. You know what I'm saying? So you should look at where you're scoring. Are you scoring in the fast break? Are you scoring in transition? Are you scoring on screens? Because that's where you got to spend your practice time. Like for this upcoming season, we've adjusted how we're breaking our practices down because I think we're spending too much time on something that we're good at and I'm trying to get great at, but we don't need to get great at it. We need to get great at this other thing that we're actually shooting more at. It's the stats teacher in me. It's like something wasn't clicking and I couldn't figure out what it was. And then when we did that, it was like, whoa, that's why. Because we should have spent more time on our transition offense. We should have spent more time on our secondary, those kind of things. So that's what you need to think about is like, it's with this quick hitter and all this other stuff. It's like how much, quick hitters at the end of the game are important. And I spend some time on it, especially come second half of the season. But what percentage of the game is actually that versus, us being able to transition back on defense or us being able to transition, get an easy bucket on our third pass in our offense kind of thing. So think about that if you have some time to go back and look at it or have somebody, if you have a student manager or somebody like that, just track a couple games. I think you'll be surprised.
Right. No, that's great. I never thought about that. That's excellent. I could easily do that. Okay, cool. Very good. And like I said, just tell me to shut up whenever.
Okay, no worries.
The next one is the next one I heard for our man press breaker. I've always just got it to the point guard, spread it out, and just let him bring it down. But I heard you mention something about that if they're in a jump and trap, that you might have to have a little bit different strategy, or is that not necessarily the case as long as everybody's spread out? It's
more about the cuts. So if you go on T-Troops, I've got a press break, all the press breaks. If you have two things, if you have an out-of-bounds play you like a lot, use that for a press break because it'll get kind of the same movement. An out-of-bounds play that you use to score under a basket, you can also use for a press break to get it in if you need to. But then I work on cutting and I work on spacing versus press breaks. So if you're going to run and jump me, I got to get the ball in, and I've got a couple of tweaks on that. And if you go watch the press break thing on T-Tubes, one's called sideline, a couple other ones where I get the ball back to the point guard, throwing it in. So go look at that. But what I teach is I think what's really important on press breaks is that spacing in the vertical cuts. So I don't know what specifically, I've done so many podcasts, I don't remember what I was specifically talking about. And I can't remember what I had for dinner last night, but I teach finding space, especially in a press break. So let's say the point guard gets the ball here. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to talk about those three spots. We talk about that all the time, right? You got to have those three spots. But I want them filled with cuts across the court, similar to what we were just talking about. So let's say we do a basic one. Ooh, that was bad. Let's say we do a basic 1-4 set. So we put 1 here, 2 here, 3, 4, and 5's throwing it in. Okay, so 5's here. So let's say 1 sets a screen for 2, and then 1 curls back and gets the ball here. Okay, great. All right, so if we rediagram this, so 1's got the ball now. So 5 is my step in. Change that. So 5 just threw it in. So 5's just going to step in here to the basket for the time being. 1 has the ball. Okay. 2 is over here. 3 is back here. And 4 is at this spot. All right. So what I want at this point is I want people cutting across the front. Okay. So I'm going to tell 2 to go down and cut across. Okay. I'm going to tell 1 to cut down and come back because 1's getting trapped. These passes, these cuts across the court are always open. Now, sometimes I'll clear my 5 out because I don't want 5 dealing with the ball at that point. But if 2 doesn't get it, I tell 2 to clear. and then I'll tell 3 to come back down and then again cut across, because the defender does not want to get beat this way. That's what you got to think about, what the defender doesn't want to happen. The defender does not want to give a layup up. So they're always going to play those cross-court cuts will always be open. And the only way I've been able to figure out how to teach them that is by not letting them dribble it until they get the ball inside our 3-point line. Because then they got to catch it. So, and I'll do this. The disadvantage drill is perfect for this. We'll put 6 defenders out there and no dribbles. And the only way they're going to get it over half court is to do those kind of cuts. If they do lazy cuts or they do curl cuts, they'll never get open. If they cut down and cut across, that's when they'll get open. So that's what
I was going to try. No, sorry. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say I was going to try to teach them a little bit different press breaker this year, and that 2-cutter press break has been, I can't remember the guy's name, that's been around for a long time, but it looks similar to kind of what you're doing: cut. Okay.
Yep. You literally want to cut. I mean, because every kid's paranoid about getting yelled at, and they're all paranoid about not giving up the layup because it's embarrassing. So they're always going to be on this side. So what I teach, the one thing you have to do with this drill, and I have learned this, is you have to teach them how to catch it moving like that, not travel and be under control. And maybe sometimes jump stop. So that's why I do the no dribble thing, because they'll catch it, and they can't dribble because they all want to dribble. So they catch it, and then they got to jump stop into it, and then they got to look up and pass fake, and do all those kind of things.
Oh, that's excellent.
So, yeah,
excellent.
So if you do that, I've had teams, especially, 10 years ago, I didn't have these kind of teams. But the last 4 or 5 years, I've had teams that have had been a little shaky. We do this every day. We'll do this drill usually within the first half hour practice. I'm a big believer in the first 3 drills you do set the tone for your practice. So I tend to do ones that are very intense for the first 3 drills. I don't necessarily do that early, but I do it early in practice because they sold their legs. Okay.
So do you have, I don't know if that was something you work on as far as just like a handout on like practices, as far as just kind of I don't know how your practice look at percentages or a little bit better idea of.
I don't, but I'm going to, because I'm going to speak. I'm actually working on that right now because that's why I was on the top of my head. I'm speaking outside of Atlanta in 2 weeks at the Legends Clinic. And that's what I'm talking about, practice and building a program. So I will have something for you in 2 weeks. Cool. I'm working on it right now.
Cool.
It's in my binder.
Cool. And just one other side note on that is, do you have any type of handout for like in the game situations? So just like a sheet that would just kind of hit on the key things you need to know, like how many fouls, do you have any fouls to give? Does the other team have any fouls to give? The 3-point shooter, the best free throw shooter, something like that, just at the end of the game that would be like you have it all in one sheet, checklist.
I do. So you're talking, I have a couple things, but I just want to make sure I got to dig it out because usually my assistant coach is in charge of it. So are you talking about like a checklist, or are you talking about like just giving them information? Like, because I have a coach, I have an assistant coach who's in charge of telling the kids the possession arrow, the number of timeouts. He holds up a sign as they're walking out of the huddle. We have 2 timeouts. They have the possession. He'll hold it up so they see it. Are you talking about like a sheet of paper with like, follow this person, do this? What specifically are you talking about?
Actually, maybe it's a combination of 2, but basically, so my assistant has a checklist of what they should be tracking during the game, and during a timeout, they can tell me that information. So I'm not having to think about that as I'm drawing a player doing whatever.
Yep.
Does that make sense?
Okay. So I have something like that. It's really hard to keep, but I can definitely give it. I'll pull it out because that's actually a good thing to teach hoops members. I might do something on that. That's actually good. I have somebody that keeps every possession next to me. So, and he has it in little compartments, so I can tell at halftime. I want it more for halftime. Are they scoring versus the 1-3-1? Are they scoring versus our man? Are they scoring versus? So we compartmentalize. So that is, I think, what you're thinking about. Then the other thing is more of an administrative sheet, which I have that administrative sheet too. So I'll dig that out for you. Follow this person. That's more of that comes from our scouts. like follow this person.
Right.
You know, this is what they're going to run at the end of the game. Yeah, we try to get that onto one sheet on our scout for our boys. So that's different. But then I'll get you the one that, yeah, it's a good thing to give your assistant that can't keep their mouth shut either, because they can't do that, and they have to pay attention. Like, so I can basically see every possession at halftime, you know, whether we're scoring on it, all that. Like I think he circles if it's a 2, triangle if it's a 3, nothing if it's a miss, and then it's under Pacific. So I'll find that for you. That's a good idea. I'll find that. Right.
Yeah, because I'm just, especially at the end of the game, if they can just remind me, you know, can your guy run the baseline? You know, tell the referee, you know, count down the last couple of seconds. You know, just all the things you need in the game that I'm probably not going to remember. You know, do we have a foul to give? But I'm just not organized, and that would be
no. I got that. Yep, I'll find that for you. All right, one more, coach. Then I got to pick up my sushi.
Last one. I'll wrap it up. And we have sushi every Friday night as a regular thing with my wife. So
you do? Mine's Sunday. Yeah. Mine's Sunday. Because then I always have I have some left, and then I get to eat it on Monday. So I'm the only one that eats it in the house. So it's like I order enough for.
Yeah, and you keep it cold. Yeah, it's awesome. It's the best. It's the best next day food there is.
I know.
So last one is there just a quick hitter that you like for maybe for a man or a zone that you want your point guard to get the shot? So like maybe trying to keep it in his hands and him being able to, I don't know, the challenge that I have is I'm a little hesitant at the last second play with my point guard or trying to screen them because I really don't want them to double him.
Oh, I'm doubling.
For him to,
I'm doubling.
Well, that's what I'm saying. So I'm saying would it be better just to spread out? And
no, it'd be better for him not to have the ball if he can do it.
Okay. Because I have other people who can handle the ball. He's not the only one.
Get him off the ball. I'd literally get him off the ball. Because I'm telling you, if I'm coaching against you and he's got the ball, I'm coming at you. I'm going to make someone else beat me, is usually my theory. And he's not going to beat me. I'm going to double him or triple him and make him give it up. Maybe he'll turn it over. Maybe he'll take a bad shot. So, yes, I think you want – I don't have something off the top of my head, but let me think about that for a point guard.
Yeah, for like a zone and a man, just a basic.
Yep.
Yeah,
how big's your point guard?
He's a little under 6 foot, so he's not really tall. I mean, he's my best rebounder too. But
okay, 6 foot, and will he go against bigger kids or smaller kids, faster kids? Are there bigger? Will there be like 6'3" kids guarding him or not?
Sometimes there'll be, but usually they're going to be their fastest guy, so like maybe a 5'10" guy or something. Not really.
Okay.
Big. Usually.
Okay.
Yeah.
And is he good off the ball?
He's a really driving layups and 3-pointers, not much of a mid-range game.
Okay.
So you have 3-pointers and then drive and lay it up.
Yep. So what you want to do? Yep. So let me play with this and I'll get you something. What I think you want is setting a lot of screens for him and then him setting some back screens because you'll get some slips off of that for the other guys and then they'll have to, you know. Yeah, let me play with that. That's a good. I haven't diagrammed many things over the 30 years for my point guard to actually score. It's usually my 2 or 3, but
yeah.
Let me play with that. I would definitely get him off the ball. I got lots of stuff if he's off the ball. Let me think about on the ball. I'll put that on my list. I'll find something. Okay, great.
Hey, thanks, Coach. Thank you for your time today. I really appreciate it.
No problem. Talk to you soon. Bye.
Hey, everybody. I hope you enjoyed the podcast. Make sure you subscribe, like, jump up and down, like I say. Tell your friends. That would be a good thing. Yeah, share this on social media. And then also go over and check out teachhoops.com for coaches who want to get better. Have a great day.
Booking.com is the easiest way. From a day surrounded by noise to a stay surrounded by nature. That's nice. Go on, book it. It's easy. Booking.com. Booking.yeah.
NFL football season is here, which means when you switch to Verizon, it feels like
touchdown.
Because you get NFL Sunday Ticket from YouTube on us when you buy an eligible 5G phone on select unlimited plans. which means you can watch every out-of-market game every Sunday afternoon. And it's all on us. Now that's the Verizon way to kick off the NFL football season right. Switch and get NFL Sunday Ticket from YouTube on us, only with Verizon.